I'm assuming we're going to hear something in a second. I'm going to keep the stream up because I can just cut this part out of the final recording.
And I'm going to keep talking just to make sure you can actually hear me when it goes away.
And I'm assuming we're going to hear something in a second. I'm going to keep the stream up because I can just cut this part out of the final recording.
And I'm going to keep talking just to make sure you can actually hear me.
And I'm assuming we're going to hear something in a second. I'm going to keep the stream up because I can just cut this part out of the final. Okay, I guess I can hear us, but it's kind of low.
Alright.
So let's turn that up. I don't know why I just turned it up in Steam, but I guess that's a thing I did. Alright, so I guess we're live. If you're out there actually watching us, hi. This is not going to be a very long show because like we honestly don't even want to be doing this, but we feel like we have to.
Right. Just because Shank's not here is why we're doing it.
Exactly. So if you haven't noticed, Brian is here in Vegasu. Do we have to call it Vegasu because Shank's not here?
I don't think we have to if Shank's not here.
Alright, so Brian's in Las Vegas. We're
currently homeless.
Technically, he's homeless, yes. His wife and my wife are in the living room. They're talking. The kids are all in Noel's room playing. I have Playboy on my screen, which is something you should have up when all kids are awake, I guess.
That's right. That's how you do it.
Yeah, so hi, Brian.
Hi, Brett. What's up?
How was this is weird. I've never podcasted with you in person unless we were drunk playing GTA.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no, did we podcast from E3 or did we not podcast? We didn't podcast, did we?
No, that's right. We recorded one,
yeah,
but then it didn't work.
Yeah.
Because that's how we roll, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah. So how's your drive been so far?
Long. So we're in two cars. So I have one kid in my car, the oldest one. And Christy has one kid in the other car, and I think I'm pretty smart. I think actually because I just introduced my daughter to the joys of listening to things on headphones. So she's been listening to her headphones literally almost the entire way here.
Nice.
Which is great, but it's also like, okay, she was supposed to be doing some stuff in her school workbooks and stuff, so I did have to make her take them off and do some work. But it's been nice and quiet. I've been cranking the music and can't complain too much, but yeah, really long. 24 hours to get here driving, not counting bathroom breaks and more bathroom
Things
breaks.
falling off your car.
Things falling off my car, yes, which is a result of one of the trips to Shank's house, so I blame Shank.
Really?
What?
Oh, the Krubisoft.
Yeah, the Krubisoft moment. Yeah, that was that trip. So, thanks to Shank, my car is falling apart, and it's rearing its ugly head on this trip.
Just going to point out there's absolutely no direction right now. I haven't even said what this show's called or introduced anybody or anything. This is literally by the seat of our pants, like, totally not prepared for this at all. Because we thought we were going to be podcasting much earlier than this.
Yeah.
Shank,
I didn't know we were going to be podcasting. But
yeah, Brian didn't know we were going to be podcasting, but I'm scheduled to work tomorrow night, so I don't want to enter the win a free t-shirt. I kind of thought we were going to be podcasting tonight, so I just assumed we were. I told Shank last night we were podcasting tonight. I guess I should have filled you in on that too.
You might have. Yeah, I probably would have missed it anyway.
Well, no, I told him we were playing Lord of the Rings online, so.
Ah, okay.
I think Britta knew.
Well, that's good. At least somebody else knew.
So yeah, this is Gaming the Industry. This is your number one, possibly 1,000 million D gaming podcast. We talk about the industry and all the things within it. So that's, the games themselves, the consumer issues. Shank talks about how console people shouldn't play games. It's basically...
They should die and they should burn in hell, pretty much.
Yeah, it's basically Brian and I bring two interesting talking points to the show, and then Shank brings the same thing every single week.
Well, usually you have a talking point, or I have a talking point, but we never usually see them.
Yeah, we can never usually be on our game.
No, I don't think we've had 3 talking points in like 3 months. So.
Well, I was going to tweet out that we're live. My phone just died, so whatever. It is what it is.
I could do it, maybe.
We go live usually every Thursday night, 7 p.m. in God's time zone, 10 p.m. Eastern, on twitch.tv/gamingtheindustry. You might notice we are not on that Twitch stream right now because I don't feel like setting it up. So, yeah. We're going to talk... Brian hasn't had much time to play games because obviously he's been driving. So we're going to talk about an article that I wrote a while back, and we actually haven't talked about it, which is surprising considering how much we talk The Witcher on this show, specifically Gwent. But first, I guess there's things we should do. Like, are we actually going to do like Japanese, or can we skip that abomination? You know what?
Really, what you should do. I mean, it's always fun for me to just try to, at the last second, read what Shank has written. So you should maybe just. Oh, it's
Apparently
already there.
Shank wrote something.
Okay.
So
well,
I guess we're gonna do it.
Okay. All right. I'll read it then. Let's see.
All right, Brian.
Vasu dusu begasu tu. Oh wait. Okay. Rebu furumu. Rasu begasuru masu o.
So what I think he's trying to say is Balls
Balls
Does
Does
Vegas
Vegas
2,
Okay.
live from Las Vegas. Oh.
Okay. I did not get the Rebu furumu part, but now
Well,
I get it.
see, I've come to learn from Shank's awful Japanese that he writes words but then pronounces them as if he was speaking English,
Right.
but he's not speaking. It's Japanese. So
Right.
like that reibu, you said it actually correctly,
Hey. All right.
but he probably would have said raibu, which should be spelled R-A-I-B.
Ah.
Technically, that's not a word in Japanese, but if we're going to Japanify things, like that's how you would do it. Barusu, I mean, basu, that just means like boss fight, like basu fight.
Well, that's kind of
So
cool.
if it's balls, it should be barusu.
Ah.
Dasu, D-A-S-U. Vegas, that's the only correct thing in this. In fact, rasu begasu, without the
Masu.
urumasu,
Urumasu. Okay. Yeah.
that's the only correct Japanese here, because that's how you actually say Las Vegas in Japanese.
All right.
So,
Well.
I'm not even going to try to translate that, because I don't know how to say it. And he's
Close
not here,
enough.
so I don't have to. I guess we should just keep going down this. You know, I'm going to pull this over here. Because no one's talking to the chat room anyway. If you're in the chat room, say hi.
Yeah. Say hello.
It says there's 3 people in there, so we'll see.
I think 2 of them are us. So.
Probably. Reminder that Quantum Break is... Oh, this is your part, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Hey, you may have missed the news today. I know I did because I was driving. But Quantum Break has been delayed.
Oh, no.
Yeah, all the way until April. So that sucks. Also, here's your PSA of the week. Arkham Knight on PC is still broken, but oh wait, and you can still buy Vita. It says.
Yeah, we were talking about your Vita when I wrote it.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, it's supposed to say Zoom. It's not as funny now.
Well, I mean, it's kind of funny because Vitas are. I mean, we were talking about it before the show, but they're almost worthless now, except for playing like super old games.
I guess so.
So it's still funny. Oh yes, quick Windows 10 updates.
Da, 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 da.
Brian is in Vegasu,
Oh.
which is correct. Oh.
He's in Vegas.
Yes.
Vegas. It's Spanish.
I'm just reading. Because I got yelled at one time for not just reading the words.
That's
so.
that's true.
Uh,
That's true. Yeah, who was in the chat room? Me. It says there's 4 people in there. But
Shank's
it's
probably
just
one, and
me.
he's probably stealthing us in there.
Why not?
And
Why not?
I'm here on my phone. I don't know why it's not popping up in there, but yeah.
Yeah. So you haven't been playing a lot, I'm assuming, because
I've
you've
been
been
playing
driving.
one game,
What is that one game you've been playing?
Rocket League. So
Rocket League.
So Shank was at my house this weekend, and I was stealing the game off of his accounts, and he was playing my stolen copy of his game on my PC. And we also had our friend Pete from the Todger Balls
He
crew.
played a really convincing me last week.
It wasn't that good?
It was
I
really good.
I was really impressed. He's been studying, I think.
I guess. Either that or I'm just really predictable and boring. Probably both.
Maybe a little bit of both. But Pete was there, and my brother was there, so we had a little 4-person rotation going on, playing Rocket League on PC. So Friday night, I think when Shane got there, he and I actually had a pretty good strategy going. We would he would play goalie. Well, I would play goalie sometimes, but I just panicked and screwed everything up. So Shank was actually quite calm as a goalie, which is kind of shocking.
That's really scary.
Yeah, he was
He
actually
trusted
pretty
the
good.
entirety of your team's winning or losing to Shank.
Well, here was the alternative. When I got in goal, I just froze. Like I couldn't jump for the ball or run to it. I don't know what to do.
So your old age translated to your car.
Pretty much, yeah. My Rocket League car had arthritis. But I was getting pretty good at centering the ball back to the middle for Shank to come flying out of the backfield and score. So it was pretty fun. We had a good run going. And by the end of the weekend, we played just a ton of that. I think we were up till 2:30 the first night.
Jeez.
We went to bed earlier the next night because I made everybody move my house into a truck.
Yeah. So inconvenient, Brian.
All right, I know, but that's how Todger Balls does it. So
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a really fun game. If you haven't bought it yet, you should, or get it for free on PS Plus. I don't know. Is it on Xbox?
It's not on Xbox and it's not free on PS Plus anymore because I just bought a PS4 and I looked for that game.
But do you have PS Plus?
No, I don't have PS Plus.
So I think it's PS Plus only.
Right, but the only games that are free now this month are Limbo and Temple of Osiris, because it was July's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it is August. Okay.
Yeah. It is August. That is true.
We're 12 days in. All right.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're unemployed. All right. So yeah, well, it's $20. It's a fun game. I can't.
Yeah,
afford
but
it,
like it's $20 on PC, and neither of us have bought it yet either.
Right. Well, because I've been stealing Shank's copies. So.
Exactly.
But yeah, if you have $20 and you don't know what to spend it on, go get.
And you don't
Rocket
have
League.
access to Shake's Steam
Right.
library.
Yeah. But it's really fun. How about you, Brad? What have you been playing?
So I bought a PS4.
Yay.
My wife actually had the idea. She's really not used to this.
You should wife that wife.
I should wife that wife. So we're sitting. I think we were eating something. We're at IHOP Saturday morning. We were going up to the mountains to go hiking, and it came up because I knew that PS4 was going to have this big game launching this week. You know, everybody's gone to the rapture. Right. It's been hyped by Sony because it was originally a PC game, and then they lost funding, and so Sony swooped in and made it PS4 exclusive. And I had heard that a couple of the editors that I work with are looking for coverage on this game. I knew I could pitch some stuff on it, and whatever I pitched, if it was accepted, would pay for the PS4. Yeah. And I've had to turn down other assignments before because I don't have a PS4. Yeah. So I told Virginia this. We were planning on getting one for Christmas, and it was just one of those things. It's like, look, I mean, it's going to pay for itself. Let's just get it now. And she agreed. She was like, yeah, why not? Makes perfect sense. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I don't get this. I don't understand how this works anymore. Because, like, she's been extremely supportive throughout this. I mean, during the QGN days when I wasn't getting paid to write, and now that I am, it's just kind of like, it's totally turned itself on its head. Case in point, the PS4 being purchased on, like that. Didn't even have to argue about it. Didn't even have to really discuss it. It was just decided. And the last night, I'm trying to go to bed early, but she knew that I had to play the game to pitch something this morning. And so she forced me out of bed to go play video games. So, further proving my wife is the best person in the world.
That's pretty awesome.
I mean, your wife is pretty awesome too,
right.
but
she's right over there.
So yeah, I've been playing that. That is a glorified walking simulator.
Is it?
Yeah, okay. I mean,
in a good way or a bad way?
I wish I could jump. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Wait, I heard there is a run button.
There is a walk slightly faster button. Yeah.
What is that button?
It's if you hold down R2 while you're moving, your guy will slowly speed up.
Yeah, I've heard you have to hold it down for 7 seconds or something.
Yeah, but the max speed is like, it's like, remember the speed we walked up the stairs with your PC just now? Yeah. That's the max speed this guy walks. It's still pretty slow. Okay. But it's interesting the way they're presenting the story. Like, this game was not built to be like this big gameplay thing. It was literally built to drive this very specific story. Huh. And the story is decent. It's pretty good. I'm not going to spoil anything. I haven't finished the game yet. I think I'm getting close because what it looks like it's doing is just basically taking me in a giant circle around this little tiny village in England. And you can kind of go and explore on your own, but the story is out of place if you try to do it. So I've pretty much been staying with this little ball of light that kind of leads you places and then opens up the story elements. And the ball of light actually has a purpose in the story too, which you learn as you progress through it. Like, you've been wondering this entire time, what is this light? And that's also...
Is it Ghost from Destiny?
It's Peter Dinklage. Yeah, it's Peter Dinklage.
He got fired from Destiny, so now he's in...
So now he's in this game. No, it's I don't want to spoil it. It's part of the story.
Is it first person?
It's first person, yeah. In fact, it's so first person that you don't even have reflections.
Oh.
So
that's pretty damn first person.
Yeah, like you don't have any idea what this guy that you're playing looks like.
Okay.
You only know the color of one person's skin, which by extension then you know the other person's color of their skin, because there are two female characters that are talking. They're talking about a third female character, and one of them doesn't like this third character. And she's like, don't give me that look. It has nothing to do with the color of her skin. So you can kind of get a mental image based on those context clues. It's actually pretty interesting, though, seeing these characters that you're learning about interact with each other as just basically beads of light. It's kind of hard to explain. You have to play the game to see it. But like full movements and stuff, you can feel the emotions. The voice acting is stupendous. Absolutely some of the best voice acting in any game, and it has to be. Because you don't see any facial expressions. You don't see anything except for these balls of light.
Sure.
playing it out. So yeah, it's if you don't like walking simulators, if you don't like games that are purely there for story, don't buy it.
Okay.
Don't buy it. But
Do
if
you know
you,
how much is it?
it's like $20.
Okay. Yeah.
It's $20 on PSN. If you have PS Plus, it's like 15.
Okay.
It's definitely a pretty game.
Yeah.
Shane probably wouldn't agree, but it's it's CryEngine on a console. It's definitely compromised, I'm sure.
It is CryEngine?
It's CryEngine,
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's definitely pretty. I've been tweeting out screenshots because it's so much easier to make screenshots on PS4 than Xbox One.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So,
Well, nice.
been playing that, and The Last of Us.
How far are you into that so far?
I just left the city with Tess and what's her face?
Ellie?
Ellie, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, main
Gotcha.
character. I don't remember the name.
So you're
of
still
the
you're
character.
still
I'm still
pretty early on then.
yeah, because I can't play it when Noelle's awake,
Sure, yeah.
and during the day I'm not unemployed like you, so
Right.
I have to.
Let me tell you, it's a good life.
It's ending in a couple
I know.
days though.
Yep.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for that. I think we only have one talking point,
I think so.
and it's what you see on the screen if you're watching the archive version. But before that, I probably should ask Brian.
What's up, Bradford?
Is Drive Club working yet?
Well, we were just talking about this. You have a
We
PS4
were.
now.
I do.
And, I mean, no, it's not.
It's not working for me.
Yeah.
I don't own it.
So,
but
right. I mean, I can't imagine that it's working. That's all I can say. I should have tried it before I came up here because I needed to practice my driving before I, started this cross country.
you know
road
you
trip.
haven't Kirby Soft off the road.
Not yet.
So
Not yet. Like, let's hope I don't. I'm
This
almost
is-
there. I'm like halfway there, but
Whoa, living on a prayer.
well, there you go. That just happened.
So it's not working. Yeah, I just sang to Brian.
I have been serenaded.
You have been
By
serenaded by who sings that song? Is it
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi? Yeah. Oh god, that guy's awful. So, The Witcher 3's fictional card game Gwent has an interesting origin. Brian, did you know that? Actually, first, did you actually read the interview?
Yes. Yes.
Okay then.
Most of it.
Fine then, Brian.
Hey, I gave you a click.
That you did.
And a few scrolls.
Thanks. So this is an interview that I did with the dev team at CD Projekt Red. This was actually done before I left for E3.
Oh, wow. That's okay.
Now, they didn't get back to me till like after, but like I had the thing pitched. I had the article basically done. I just had to insert the quotes and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's actually pretty interesting. Now, I want to just kind of go through it, I guess.
Yeah.
So the card game in The Witcher 3 obviously is pretty popular. People have been asking for a standalone version. People have been asking for just more things you can do with the cards in the game.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't have never actually been in the game.
Yeah.
This was something that was done completely on the side of development.
Mm-hmm.
It took a year to get it from concept to where it is in the game, and they still had to do that alongside the normal developing duties.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I talked to Rafal Jaki, which is one of the card game leads in the game, in the development team, I guess, and it's pretty interesting. Like, so they had an idea, they pitched it to the studio, but it wasn't very good. So Damien Monier, I think his name is, he went up to the head of the studio and said, "Give me 2 days, and I'll come back with a working idea."
Mm-hmm.
And so he did, and there you go.
Yeah.
It's Gwent. It's the way. Now, obviously, it's not exactly the way it is in the game now,
Sure,
but
if,
the concept was literally come up over 2 days. That's pretty
Yeah.
insane.
Now, do we have any idea of like when in the game's development this was, like timeline-wise?
No, but we know it
Hearthstone
took
was
a
out
year.
though, probably.
Hearthstone was one of the games that influenced it,
Right.
so
Okay.
it has to have been.
I don't know what Netrunner is. That was another the other one you mentioned.
Yeah, that's another. I've seen it around. I've never actually played it myself.
Okay.
But yeah, it took a year to get it from that original design to what it is in the game now. And obviously they had to take the time to concept the cards, get someone to draw all the images for the cards,
Yeah.
which I wouldn't be surprised if they just use concept art from the game as these card images.
Probably, yeah.
And then obviously the mechanics and making sure the game worked. And again, this is all in addition to their normal development duties. So this is like off the clock crap they're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting that was something that they did.
But yeah, I mean, and the Witcher games have always had a pretty deep, side game aspect to them. In the first game, I loved just sitting in pubs and playing poker, basically, with dice in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they came out and they had this new game, but they didn't have dice poker, I was kind of disappointed. But then I played Gwent, I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty damn awesome.
Yeah.
And it's very much like Hearthstone. I haven't played a lot of it, but I've played a little bit of Hearthstone, and from what I've played of Gwent, it's the same basic idea. I think.
Yeah, sort of.
I mean, just in terms of like you have cards and you get points, and you have to same basic idea. Very different in actual execution,
Yeah.
but it's the kind of game that I would love to like actually get a deck of cards and play with a friend. It's a really cool game. The cards are beautiful themselves, and I think it'd be cool to have a deck in your hand and just have a collection of those cards. So
Now they're not going to be doing a standalone version of this game though.
they have said for sure they're not going to do it.
It's right here.
Yeah.
That was one of the things I asked, and I don't think they're ruling out the possibility of doing it ever.
Yeah.
But like right now, they've literally got no
Yeah,
plans to do it.
And they have more to focus on right now than
Yeah.
really an actual card game.
But the main reason is not because they don't want to, but they think they would have to completely retool the game, because when you do things against AI, you can account for certain things, but you
Yeah.
can't account for what other players would do.
Right.
And so, to read the quote directly, we think that Gwent is a fun part of the world, but it's exactly because it's a part of it. We're getting a huge amount of emails just port it to iPad or PC as a standalone, but it would not work without major changes. When you do quests inside The Witcher 3, you can encounter different decks, but in a player versus player PvP environment, it would have to be far more fine-tuned. When you play real people, they can come up with things that we as design didn't think of.
Right.
So,
I would even be happy if they literally just gave us a single-player version of this game to play on the app and play against AI.
sure.
Because I don't want to have to load into Witcher just to go play this game. It's
like,
fun on its own.
I would still load into Witcher I don't
Well,
play
sure.
it very often.
But if have it on your iPad or your Android and you're at work on a lunch break, you want to play some Gwent, you just pull it up on your phone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I could see it being useful. Obviously, it would be better PvP, but even if you couldn't, especially if you tied in like with your character somehow, like you could take your Gwent game on the road and have it be translated back into your character in the actual Witcher game. I think
Sure.
that'd be pretty awesome. But
Judging by my screenshot here, I don't play Gwent very well.
15-19, yeah, that's pretty. But that's about how I play. So
Yeah.
we'd probably have a good match between the two of us.
So yeah, I thought this was kind of interesting just to talk a little bit about. This is on Playboy. This is one of the articles I wrote for them. So if you don't feel like clicking on Playboy, just click on it for me,
Yeah,
please.
Right. And I mean, it's Playboy, so just
Yeah,
click on it.
people read it for the articles.
Yeah, that's what you're doing here.
100% true.
And there's some nice ads on the side, so
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know what those
Sure.
are.
I guess one of them's Conan.
Yeah. Okay. He was caught in the act apparently,
I guess so.
or somebody was.
So Brian, do you have anything you want to talk about, or are we just gonna Todgy Balls this and cut it short?
Well, I thought in true Todger Balls fashion, we should just read some news from IGN for Shank. So let me find a good story here.
Da, 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 da. I don't even know why I have these headphones on. I'm not listening to anybody.
I have something in mind I would like to read in
All right.
Shank's honor, but I have to find it.
Da, 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 da.
Okay.
I should.
All right. I'm going to read to you a review written by one Marty Sleva.
What game is this?
The Rare Replay.
Oh.
Rare Replay is gorgeous. He adores the characters because they are gorgeous. The game is gorgeous. There you go, Shank.
I don't think those are words that he wrote.
Probably not. But probably not. I was going.
Like, I've read some of Marty Sleva stuff. He's not like that bad.
No, I mean he does a good job reviewing games. Those are the words that stick in my head. Is the ones he says.
Okay. He's a pretty cool guy. He drinks a lot.
Yes, he does.
Like, I met him when he was here in Vegas for CES 2 years ago. They did a meet and greet at Insert Coins, and I met him and Scott Lowe and a couple other guys. And all I remember is just Marty Sleva putting away liquor like
Yeah.
it was water. I was really impressed.
Yes, I met him and a few of the other guys in Seattle at PAX Prime a couple years ago, and yeah, it was the same thing. Just lots of alcohol being consumed on that night. Yeah.
A lot of video game folks drink a lot of alcohol.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to keep up, so I was glad.
I didn't keep
I'm
up.
good.
Like E3 this year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude! Like, so our year we didn't like go to any parties
Yeah.
at all. We just kind of hung out in the hotel room
Yeah.
because we had to drive like an hour to get there.
Yeah.
And then last year, I was by myself. Only person I knew was Leif, and we hung out.
Mm.
I think we hung out twice. But there were nights where I literally was in bed by like 10 o'clock. I felt like a grandma at E3 because I knew everyone else was out there drinking and partying. This year was weird. I don't think I went to bed before 1 o'clock.
Jeez.
And it was all because the guys I roomed with actually knew people.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was the one night I hung out with Patrick and Leif.
Yeah.
And so Monday night I was at Microsoft's press. They called it their media showcase. There were more than media there, and like playing the games and writing about it was the last thing on everyone's mind. Like I was going around with Notebook and all that crap, trying to actually play these games and write about them. I interviewed a developer there that I've never been able to transcribe because like the interview quality is so bad. It sucks because it's the head guy for Hinterland Studios that does The Long Dark.
Okay.
I love that game. I would love to produce that interview. I can't because like all the partying going on behind me.
Too loud.
Yeah, it's just way too loud. All I remember from that place was they built an ice sculpture out of the pickaxes in Tomb Raider, and they were pouring shots in people's mouths through the shafts of the pickaxes. Yeah.
Wow.
Totally not a media showcase. The next night was the PC Gamer show and then the PC Gamer after party. That was the night I hung out with Patrick and Leif, and I realized they were giving away scotch for free, so I had to.
Yeah.
Wednesday, I hung out with one of my roommates that I roomed with, Jason Finelli, who writes for Arcade Sushi, EGM, and G4 at Sci-Fi. And we had a ton of people hanging out with us that night. We ended up eating at IHOP with a pro wrestler that night. That was the night we hung out with Austin Creed, Austin Woods, as he's also called.
Nice.
And then Thursday night, I was at the Fig Hotel with like literally every single person in the industry.
Yeah.
Till 2 o'clock in the morning. Drinking again. I did not keep up well. Oh gosh, just ask Virginia. I got home on that Friday and was practically dead.
You'll build up your drinking chops, I imagine.
No, I don't want to. I don't want that to be a modifier of me. Like I enjoy alcohol, but I don't ever want to be a drunk.
Well, no.
Not that anyone listening to the podcast in the industry that are friends of mine that are drunk. I'm not calling you guys drunks. You just drink a lot.
Right. You can hold your liquor.
As I say that, I remember that Brian and his wife both passed by a box full of nothing but beer bottles on my porch. So.
I did see that, yes.
Okay, so we should probably just end this abysmal thing. So I don't even think I really should have to go through this. I mean, you're not working on anything, are you?
Nope, just driving.
So we're not going to be able to reach your keys?
Yeah, my keys are over here. So
I'm writing things. I have 2 things in the works, possibly. I have one thing in the works for Playboy for sure. I have another one that I pitched today, so hopefully something will come out of that. I don't care what Shank's working on. You can follow us on Twitter at GTI Podcast, at Silent Fury 007 is Mr. Brian. Let him know what you think about him moving across country again.
Yeah.
Again. I'm at LOTR
Okay,
Lore.
we figured out, we were doing the math today. We have, counting our new house, we have had 5 residences in 4 years.
Wow.
That's just stupid.
I've had 3 in 8 years.
Yeah, it's stupid. And 2 of them have been across the country from each other, so.
Hey, you know, you didn't plan it. It just happened.
No,
Yeah, shouldn't feel bad. You have a very supportive wife and family.
Thank God for that.
Yes. Thank God for that. You can follow Shank at Shank the Tank. You can visit us at gamingtheindustry.com for not editorials, live stream. Actually, I think we have editorials up there now if you count his rants.
Yeah.
Video stream, videos on demand, Let's Plays, and the RSS feed of the show, which will not be broken this week because I'm posting it. And as I say that, I realize I am not actually recording the audio for this show. So this will be a really bad pull from the YouTube video. Oh my gosh, I just realized that. I don't have an audio recorder running, so like literally I'm just going to pull this from YouTube. So who knows, the feed might actually still be broken.
It might.
Yeah, it might. This episode will not appear on Shank's YouTube account. It'll appear on mine because I didn't feel like figuring out how to work the feed thing. You can join us every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, or like I said earlier, at 7 p.m. God's time zone, for new episodes, which you're moving back into. Have you felt the warm embrace of our Lord?
Not yet. I'm still on Central Time, so a little
you'll
messed up.
You'll get used to it. For new episodes, twitch.tv/gamingtheindustry, and on our site, gamingtheindustry.com. Brian, why don't you say goodbye to the fine folks?
See you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in for this.
Really tawdry
Yeah,
episode.
exactly.